Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something incredibly powerful. It's a deeply emotional story about grief, regret, and that entirely too common human habit of just taking our loved ones for granted, right up until they're gone. We're looking at a deeply moving narrative about a son's heartbreak. So let's jump right in and see what this story can teach us about our own lives. When someone leaves, the world doesn't stop, but our world never looks the same again. This quote perfectly captures the heart of the story we're exploring today. It's that jarring realization the protagonist hits when his life is completely turned upside down. The physical world, it keeps right on spinning, but the emotional landscape, totally shattered. Keep that thought in the back of your mind as we go through this. Section 1. The Silent 3 a.m. The Echoes of an Old Message. Picture this. It's 3 a.m. The house is completely dead silent except for the steady sound of rain hitting the window. A son is sitting alone in the dark, the only light coming from the glow of his phone screen. He's just staring at a saved contact. It simply says, "Father," with a little heart emoji next to it. Now, the story tells us he hasn't dialed this number in a really long time. And the reason why is just devastating. It's because no one is ever going to answer it again. While he's scrolling through their old messages, he finds one from 3 years ago. It just says, "Eat your food, don't stay up late." Finding this tiny, everyday piece of dad advice brings this brief, warm smile to his face. But man, that smile fades almost instantly, because right on its heels come the tears. That mundane little text triggers a crushing memory of exactly how things were left between them. Section 2. The Last Argument. A Fracture in Time. Let's flash back to that night. The son is storming out of the house, furious about something. His dad tries to stop him, gently pleading, "Don't go this late, son, go in the morning." And the son, he just snaps back with, "You don't need to worry about my life so much." The heartbreaking part is, the father didn't even argue. He just stood by the door and gave him one last piece of grace, saying, "Okay, go safely." The son walked out, didn't even look over his shoulder, and that harsh exchange, that was the absolute last conversation they ever had. Section 3. A Sudden Goodbye. The morning everything changed. Because the very next morning, the phone rings. It's a sudden call, and the father is in the hospital. The son drops everything and just speeds there as fast as humanly possible. But he's too late. The doctor comes out and delivers those 3 incredibly heavy words, "We tried." Literally in a matter of hours, the son's angry brush-off from the night before morphed from a stupid temporary fight into a permanent, unchangeable reality. That rapid blur-like sequence of events just absolutely locked in his guilt forever. Section 4. The Unanswered Call. Seeking Forgiveness in the Silence. So we're back in the present. It's 3:30 a.m. on that rainy night, and the son is hit with this desperate, overwhelming urge. He needs to call his dad. Just one more time. He hits call, and the anticipation is just agonizing. 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings. He's pressing the phone to his ear in this totally silent room, just hoping against all logic. And then the automated voice clicks on. "The number you are trying to reach is currently unavailable." The sheer coldness of that mechanical voice just hammers home the permanent emptiness he's facing. But he doesn't hang up. He keeps the phone pressed to his ear and just starts talking into the void. He says, "Father, I ate my food today. I don't go out late at night. I listen to everything you used to say." His voice is shaking. The tears are just pouring down his face now. He's desperately trying to make amends, offering up these mundane little proofs of obedience to an empty room, just wishing his dad could hear that he finally understood all that love and care behind those old rules. And then he just breaks down. Crying like a kid, he finally confesses, "I told you not to worry about my life. It wasn't true. My life was all about you, Father." He's clutching the phone to his chest, in the dead of night with literally no one to hear him. He admits the heartbreaking truth he was way too proud to say 3 years ago, that beneath all that youthful arrogance, he completely depended on his dad. Section 5. The Weight of Small Words. What we remember when they are gone. This really makes you think. When we lose someone, we don't actually sit around missing their grand, monumental gestures. What we really desperately miss are the tiny, everyday things, the stuff we totally took for granted. Think about the phrases we hear all the time. Eat your food. Go safely. Don't stay up late. Because beneath all of those phrases is the real, unspoken promise. I am here. And the tragedy is, One day, the person who always said, "I am here," simply isn't anymore. The ultimate punishment in all of this, the real core tragedy, is that the absolute worst pain isn't even the loss itself. It's being robbed of the chance to say just one final thing to the person who always had your back. It's waking up to the agonizing realization that the window to say, "I'm sorry," or "you were totally right," or even just "thank you," has completely, permanently closed. So what does the son do? Listening to the rain that night, he doesn't delete the disconnected number. Instead, he goes into his phone and updates the contact name. It now reads, "Father, couldn't tell you one last time, I love you very much." He literally turns his digital contact book into a permanent memorial for his unspoken truth. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to realize this isn't just a story about some anonymous son and his father. It's a mirror for us. So I'll ask you, who do you need to call today before the chance is gone forever? What small, everyday words of care are you taking for granted right now? Don't let your own unspoken words become your ultimate punishment. Pick up the phone. Thanks for joining me today, and I really hope this gave you a moment of meaningful reflection.